So Lamborghini just released their two most powerful vehicles ever, and they revealed them both at the Monterey Car Week's Quail events. And one of them I really like, and I've already done a video on, and now having seen it in person, I like it a lot more. Another one I didn't see in person, and man, I'm just not a fan right now. I don't think that's going to change. I was going to say that might change. It's not. It's not going to change. They kind of shit the bed on this one. But it's their most powerful car ever. Do I think it's fitting of the spot? Fuck no. Fuck no, I don't like this one. But the Revuelto, which I've now seen in person and I've already done a video on it, man, I'm liking that car. It's replacing my favorite car ever, so it's got to be good. And I really do like it. You'd think that I would have some type of like, oh, I love the Aventador and shit like that. Like, Revuelto's not as good. But man, they just killed it. They just killed it on that one. So I can't even be mad. I originally saw the Lamborghini Revuelto about a month and a half before, or a month before Monterey Car Week. It is Monterey Car Week right now. And I'm going to be putting this video out like at least a week after Monterey Car Week. So this would have been like almost 2 months after I've actually seen it in person. So I said, let's strike while the iron's hot and put out a video now, 2 months after I originally saw it. The first destination for the Lamborghini Revuelto on the West Coast. So the second that it touched down in the West Coast, the Lamborghini Revuelto was delivered to Lamborghini Newport Beach, and they had a big revealing and cover pulling of the Revuelto, showing it off, revealing it and all that stuff. And of course, me not knowing when car events happen and when certain events take place, I didn't know it was happening, so I missed the revealing that people were going to. I saw people posting about it like 10 o'clock that night on Instagram, and I had already missed the damn thing. So a day after this revealing of the Revuelto came, I hightailed my way over to Lamborghini Newport Beach to check this thing out in person and give my thoughts on it and just soak it in, because damn it, I was excited to see this car, man. I haven't been this excited to see a new car in a long time, okay? In a long time. One of the other cars that I'm like super stoked to see in person that I haven't seen yet is the Koenigsegg Gemera, which is the 4-seater. You know, it only has 2 doors, but the doors are massive, and then they go up like the regular Koenigsegg doors, and then it has like the souped up version of like 2,300 horsepower. That car is sick. I will make a video on that soon, but I haven't seen it in person yet. So god damn it, let's get on that ball. I don't know where to see it in person. I did not show up to Monterey Car Week this week, so it was there. I could have seen it, and I didn't. I'm just gonna let that sink in for me. So the Lamborghini Revuelto. Actually, let's start off with the atrocious one. Let's look at the Lamborghini Lanzador.
Welcome to Lamborghini. You know, this is a very special year for us because we are celebrating our 60th anniversary. And for a lot, this is an opportunity to look back. But for us, it's an opportunity mainly to look forward. The Lamborghini Lanzador,
which is aka the low poly Urus. This literally looks like if you took the Lamborghini Urus and then just took the details out and just made it the like low poly, just extremely liminal design. Like, why these headlights? Why with these headlights? BMW's done this stupid crap with their sort of headlights. Why are we focused on these types of headlights? It looks like shit. It's 2 doors, okay, but it's 4 seats. And the impressive thing about this car, which might I say there is few things are impressive about this car, but one of the things that is crazy is it produces 1,341 horsepower, 1,341 horsepower in this bitch. Who the fuck asked for that? Because this is now the most powerful Lamborghini they've ever released. This is the most powerful one they've ever released, and it's fully electric. So not only do you have this horrendous four-seater Lamborghini. It is fully electric, and it's its most powerful one. It's got so many like just notable things about it, just how ugly it is. The 4 seats, which I mean the Urus did it. I'm not a big fan of the Urus anyway, so maybe if you like the Urus, you might like this too. This is just nuts to me that they released this. The one saving grace to this thing is the interior. I actually like the interior. The interior is pretty cool, but the steering wheel is stupid. That's where it comes back to the little gripes about this car. Again, the steering wheel is pretty stupid. People really like the Urus. It's one of their best selling models, but Jesus Christ, I'm just not a fan of this one. I'm sure you can tell already, so we'll just move into what I actually like and the positive things that I have to say, because if I go into that too much, it's just gonna be negative. So the Lamborghini Revuelto, what can I say? The more that I view this car, videos, seeing it in person, I like it more and more. It's not like I didn't like the car to begin with. It's designed very well. The back of it looks like a fighter jet. If you haven't seen this thing in person, try to see it in person and look at the back of it. The exposed engine bay there with no glass to be able to protect it. It's just out there. I thought the glass on the Aventador with the little, they have the little 3 rows of the glass, and that's nice showing it off. This is sick too. The thing that it does do better than the Aventador is the like middle mounted exhausts right there. And they're big too, and they're like the hexagon shape or whatever, which Lamborghini loves the hexagon shape. They'll put that big anywhere that they can. It's like Maserati sticking a logo everywhere. They just want the logo plastered all over their piece of shit plastic. Lamborghini's doing the same thing with hexagons. They love the hexagons, but man, does it work here. It feels beefy just looking at it. It's got those little, what's I guess is called like flying buttresses, where you have the part of the exterior of the car, and then you can look through to see the, whatever's behind it. It's like not see-through, but it just doesn't have any material there. You're gonna see it as a flying buttress part of it. It's small, not as big as some of the other ones like the Ford GT and stuff like that, where you can really see the full thing, but this one, it's there, which is cool to have. Here's a little fun or not so fun tidbit of information here. So I was talking to some of the people at the car events that I've gone to recently. I was talking briefly to the guy that was looking at the Lamborghini Revuelto when I had arrived to look at it, and he was thinking about purchasing one as well, apparently. And I think I even caught some of the conversation that I had in the Diamond Ferrari video about it as well, of the wait times for these Lamborghini Revueltos. And apparently what we're saying is it's taken about 4 to 5 years to get these cars realistically, and that's pretty nuts. If you were, let's just theoretically say if you were a gambling person and you put your name in for a stainless steel Rolex Daytona at the same day you put your name in for a Lamborghini Revuelto, it would be interesting to see which name gets picked out of the hat first. Which one are you going to be able to buy first? The Daytona or the Revuelto? That would be kind of funny. That's more interesting to me, the horse races. The interior is impressive. We already knew that. The interior is fun. It's not crazy different than the Aventador. It's hard to find a bad angle of this car. Realistically, it's fun, and I enjoyed seeing it. This is one of the first cars that really piqued my interest, that was new, and I just really enjoyed it. I liked it. If I were to, spec this car out and receive it in the next decade, I wouldn't go with the yellow. I looked at it and I'm like, oh my lord, the Revuelto's here on that story that night, but I'm like, damn, it's here, look at that. And then my second thought was, it's yellow. Yellow. We went with yellow, but the yellow was fine. I didn't even mind the yellow as much as I thought I would when I first originally saw it. But the first thought was, yay, Revuelto. The second thought was, ooh, yellow. A lot of the things that I, had said that I liked in the first original video and all that other stuff stands up to it, actually seeing it in person and everything. And by the way, I wanted to say this too. The sound of it doesn't sound bad at all. It sounds good. It's a good sounding car. if somebody didn't know jack shit about supercars and they heard this thing flying down the freeway, you'd be like, oh, that's just a crazy Lamborghini. That's just a regular Lamborghini. You would never think, oh, that's a hybrid. It's partially electric. It's got electric components in it. Ah, that's a Prius. Nobody's thinking that. Everybody who would listen to it think it's like a pure Lamborghini. And by the way, it is. It just has some electric components to it that beef it up and make it more powerful. Which, by the way, that other one that I mentioned earlier, the Koenigsegg Gamera, also does that shit. So we can't fight it at this point. And I think it looks pretty great, and I think it is a great predecessor to one of my favorite cars ever. So yeah, and we got to see it in person for the first time. So we saw that. We saw the new Lamborghini Countach. I think I've seen the new Lamborghini Countach a couple times because it was just kind of like, oh yeah, that's there. And then I just kind of kept it pushing. It's cool. I like the color on it. The brown was really sick, so the pictures look nice. So I'll give it that. The brown was really cool, and the nice color, and the photos came out cool. The one that is really cool that I actually haven't seen before is the first Lamborghini ever. The first Lamborghini, you know, like the first original one. Lamborghini starting out with the V12 and everything, and as the first one. I mean, how cool is that to see? I don't believe I've seen it before, but I am sucking with classic cars. Haven't seen one of those, or just don't remember seeing one of those, or if I did, I didn't know what the fuck it was. But now I realize the significance of it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I could definitely see me in the past just walking right by one, not knowing the significance that I do now. It's beautifully taken care of. It was great. It's just like how you would see it when it did originally first come out, which is a very impressive thing to do with these older cars. Most people can't even drive the new cars. So good job to the people that own that one.